What's up, everybody? We're going to be getting started here in about 15 minutes. We're going to jam some tunes, get involved in the chat, say what's up to each other. Where are you tuned in from? What are you, sorry about that. Where are you tuned in from? What city, what state, what country? Are you bullish or bearish today? Let me know your thoughts. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope you had a good weekend. Let's vibe to the tunes. Let's get involved. We'll be getting going here in just a little bit. Got Los Angeles in the house. So everybody in this room is from Los Angeles. I like that. Got JS, Cade Pulliam, Alexander G, Crimson's girlfriend, Sawtooth Hiker, B-Team Crypto, Granny's Garden, Bit Voodoo, what's up? Justin Eubanks, Anthony Trelane, Theo Rodriguez, Crimson Caravan. How's everybody doing? Texas, how you doing? ID, is that Idaho or Idaho? You got Kansas boy in the house. All right, everybody, it's roll call time. We got 23 people in the house, only 14 likes. Everybody hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you hadn't yet. Ding the bell. I don't know if you all saw it. Earlier this morning, we did our first of the daily, what do we call it? Daily Jumpstart, the chart watch videos. It's about 10. It's going to be usually about 9 to 12 minute video, breaking down a bunch of the charts I'm looking at for the day, getting us set up with an edge, looking at what's going on. So I hope you guys watch that video. If you haven't yet, throw a one. If you have, throw a one in chat. If you haven't, make sure you go and tune into that. That's why you got to ding that bell so you know when we have videos posted or when we're going live. And that link is right here. Hold on one second. I'm trying to find the link. There we go. This is the link. Sorry about that. There we go. Here is the link if you haven't watched it yet. There's a playlist there too that these are going to go in. But definitely make sure you take a look at that. Hit the like button and drop your comments down below on that video. But we're going to be breaking down charts today. We're going to look at some of those charts that I talked about in that video. We're going to be talking about there's some geopolitical craziness going on right now. So love and prayers to everybody. So let's go ahead and do that roll call. Everybody in the room, throw up your lab coats, throw up your microscopes, throw up a couple altcoins that you're looking at that you see a setup on. Have you seen any setups that we should be looking at? Let me know. And we're going to be getting going here in just a little bit. Special quadruple double super love shout out to Alexandra G, always posting the links. She not only does it here on BitLab Academy. Which I see her over there on Discover Crypto. I see her. She's one of the best mods in the space. I just want to let you know how much I appreciate you, Alexander G. So you also dropped there my SoundCloud link to anybody liking the music going on. This is from when I guess I still play, but I was more of a professional DJ for the last 15 years. And I don't mean the guy that plays at a local bar. I mean playing at large stages at festivals and warehouses and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, love the tunes. Shout out to Jeanette. How you doing? The double quadruple high five there. Granny's Garden. I appreciate each and every one of you that tunes in on a daily basis. We got Kyle Owen in the house. We got Eric Brubaker, Alan Jardine. Shout out to everybody in the house. Kyle Owen says Bitcoin to 20K question mark. We're gonna be talking about some different levels we got to be watching on Bitcoin and these markets and gold, what's going on with the NASDAQ. We're gonna be breaking it down here in about a minute and a half. Everybody in the room, hit the like button. You guys are the OGs here early. Only about half of you hit that like button. So let's get those up, drive up that engagement. Let's break down these charts here in just about a minute. Rafik Gafour, what's up, my friend? Crypto Pollo 1, what's up? Cluck, cluck, BitLabbers. Susie Bonham, what's up? How you doing? Throw one in chat if you love this community. I love each and every one of you. Thank you guys for making this such a wonderful place here online. Positive empowerment, encouragement. I love each and every single one of you. What's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Welcome to the BitLab Academy daily stream. My name's Kelly Kellam. Welcome to the show. Big love to each and every one of you that is here on a daily basis. I hope all of you, and if you haven't yet, I hope you will, have gone over to BitLab Academy on YouTube, youtube.com/@BitLab Academy. And you see, if you click right here on videos, this video right here, Chart Watch, you can also see on the playlist There is Crypto Chart Watch Daily Jumpstart. This is going to be something I'm going to be doing every day, as many days as possible. Of course, I'll miss some days, but about 10:15 a.m., breaking down the charts I'm looking at for the day. And I don't go into a lot of detail. I give very brief thoughts on it. So it's it's going to be typically between 8 to 12 minutes. This one was 13. So I'm going to have to cut down my words just a little bit, but get in here, watch these. I'm going to try and use the same thumbnail. I'm just going to put a different date at the top right. If you see up here on the top right, there's a date that says October 9th. But the whole point here is to be very brief and just to give you a little bit of an edge on the broad things that you should be looking at on a daily basis. And I'm going to vary it up. We're going to do Bitcoin. We're going to do altcoins. We're going to be doing traditional finance, things that are just percolating. So make sure that you look at that. And by the way, if you haven't yet, make sure in the pinned comment, still got a little bit of a cough. In the pinned comment at the top of the chat, you'll see a link to this tweet right here. This was a tweet pushing out the promo for that Chart Watch, the daily jumpstart video. Talk about not only that, but I also talk about the daily live stream. And I'm going to include this one, not the daily tweet that happens, the other one for the daily stream. I'm not going to include that in the contest to win that we basically last week. I was asking everybody to retweet the daily tweets last week. So we're going to be drawing from all those days. And then this tweet right here also. I'm going to be doing 2 giveaways. One, we're going to draw from last week. That is it's going to be 3 months free BitLab Pro, as well as $100 in USDT or USDC. And this specific one right here. So this is going to be on its own contest. So everybody come over here, hit the retweet, hit the like button, get involved with this tweet, share it out, let people know what's going on. And on this one, we will also do, what should we do? Let's do a 3-month BitLab Pro giveaway as well for this. And yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to be drawing at the end of the show. Will somebody towards the end of the show remind me, because sometimes I forget. If I do forget, then we'll do it tomorrow. But the point here is with this, get involved. We're going to be breaking things down. Let's go ahead, jump right into the charts, because I know everybody wants to know what is going on. Bitcoin, we're on the daily. Let's get on the daily chart here. Bitcoin, a lot going on here. Let's go ahead and mute all of the lines. Got 2 levels that we're traveling between. This order block down below us, down here at the 25,000 mark, and we got this order block above us right here at the 28, basically 28 to 28.5, 28.6 sort of zone. We keep getting pushed up into this area and rejected. Will this hold? Will it go up? We're going to be talking about this. We got NASDAQ, or S&P 500, I should say, kind of rolling over here. We got a pretty significant new low comparably here. We are starting to push up a bit here. Is this going to follow through to the upside and be a recovery? Or do we follow what we know to be very, high bit of regularity? We have this, lower highs here. We have an M-shaped formation and a new lower low. So on any retrace here, when this starts rolling over, I'm actually looking, this is telling me that it's more likely that it's going to be pushing to the downside. We have to take into context everything that's going on with the war. And on that note, my love, my heart, my spirit, anybody, whether you are in Dayton, Ohio, Israel, Palestine, Lebanon, Germany, Poland, anywhere in the world, Armenia, Turkey, India, my love for your neighbor. There's so much that goes into all these different conflicts, and far too many people speak far too absolutely about it because they heard a news story and they say, yeah, they were wrong for doing this, or they were. And I'm not saying either side. Okay. My point is, these things are carrying historical trauma from 10 years ago, 50 years ago, 1,000 years ago, colonialism that also divided nations and put borders in nations, and separating and grouping people together that would never find harmony. And then we wonder why people are, fighting in those areas. There's so much that goes on with all this. So my point with all this is, let's have love. We individually, every one of you BitLabbers, we can share love. We can share compassion. We can share support for the common man. And with that, it's hard to talk about markets right now when you have something like this going on. But at the end of the day, this stuff is going on, and these things do make markets act in a funny way. So my life can't stop because something else is happening somewhere else. I can do everything I can. I can donate money. I can put out positive words, but I also need to protect the assets that I have. And that's what we're going to be talking about here today. What's going on with these markets? What's going on? Can I get rid of this damn cough? Had it for a week and a half now. God. And I rested a lot this weekend too. What do we do? Where is this capital going to flow? Can Bitcoin be a safe haven in all of this drama? Is it not yet there? Will it have moments of being a safe haven? We see gold has been making moves. We see oil spiked up on the futures opening, the markets opening last night. Is this indicative of driving capital and risk on in markets or risk off? What is this going to mean with Bitcoin? Is Bitcoin going to remain risk on, risk off? All these things we need to pay attention to. At minimum, just so we don't get shaken out on an emotionality of a move on a trade or a move on an asset, when by understanding things a little bit more broadly, maybe we can either find patience or we can find solace in why the market is doing what it's doing, because we're never going to fully know. We never know what all the actors are. We never know what, where, when, why with a lot of the way capital flows and who knew about it and who didn't. Some people would argue that some of the things happening in charts is not at all relevant to TA, and TA is magic and, it's fake. And other people would argue that the charts have been telling you something like this was coming for some time. You look at defense stocks, things that basically provide the war machine. Those things have been scaling up over the last couple months. It's almost as if they were preparing for something. Now, I don't want to get into all that and get shadow banned, but one of these days, this cough will be gone. So let's go ahead and just let's jump into the charts. S&P 500 breaking down, starting to get a little bit of a push up, over the last couple of days. This is Friday. This is today. So this was pushing up before the event. Now on today's open, it kind of gapped down. It opened down here. How do we know that? Basic fundamentals of understanding candles and patterns on charts. Bullish candles open at the bottom and close at the top. Bearish candles open at the top, close at the bottom. So in this case right here, this gapped up and then closed that gap. Why do I know that? Because when this candle closed here, the next candle opened here and then came down. In this case, this candle pushed up, gap down. It's not really a gap because we have the price action is already filled in here, but this is starting to push up a bit. So we want to pay attention to what's going on in market. Golly. Got 49 people in the room. Everybody hit that like button, subscribe to us, join us here in the BitLab family. And we want to look at, a little bit more importantly, what's going on with gold. Look at that. Look at this price action rebound. Now, where is this rebounding at? Let's go ahead and zoom out here a little bit. Let's see if we go from this level right here, look at where that bounced. Bounce here. We got another line right here. So we got a little bit of a zone here on gold. Now, Kelly, we want to talk about Bitcoin and crypto. Great. In order to understand what's going on in the context of where capital is flowing, we need to look at these broader markets. Look at where this bounced. Now, the question is, does this mean it's all in on gold and gold's going straight up? Well, first off, we got a couple things we got to pay attention to. So let's go ahead and draw a line here. We're going to adjust this to be the most productive trend line. So from this point right here, So look, rejection, support, support, support. Now the question is, on gold's rise, when gold pumps up, is it going to find a little bit of a rejection here? And then similarly, we have another line right here, which is the low of the previous range. Now, on the one hand, we do have a little bit, I mean, you could consider this a little bit. Let's see if it's a channel or a falling wedge. Yeah, it looks like a falling wedge there. See that? And these tend to break bullish, but this is why it's important. Even on these, this is a major asset. This is an $11 trillion market cap asset. Always break bullish? Well, let's see what happened. This actually broke bearish. And we've got this zone on gold right here that we need to pay attention to for a possible rejection. If this does break into this and start pushing up and really moving up, it would be indicative, similar to how we see the dollar index, DXY, as a relationship with the risk narrative in markets. Similarly, when you're looking at gold, if you see gold pushing higher, then there's a little bit of context there that you can draw from it. That is, there's a bit of flight to safety. So we want to pay attention to this zone when gold does get up into this area. We got almost all green here on the dashboard here on BitLab TrendFuel, part of the BitLab trading stack. We got the momentum wave, had strong selling pressure. How do we know this? Because we have all these red bars. Red bars are indicating the momentum wave is to the downside, and that's why this is coming down like this. But these are white, these are red. Red means that there's a lot of underlying selling pressure. Stochastics rebounded, RSI rebounded, momentum wave flipped over. All things indicated that this was going to have that bounce. It's funny, I feel fine, but I just can't not stop coughing. So what do we do here? Let's get down on the 4-hour chart. Look at this. You see there was actually a bit of a gap here. This is a gap from Friday till when the markets opened again last night. Now, the question is going to be, what happens now? What happens here? And the bigger question is this argument that Bitcoin is a form, or in some context, a bit of digital gold. If it is digital gold, then you would expect it to perform in a similar way than gold does. And that means flight to safety means capital inflow. Well, let's see on the same sort of time frame. Go on the daily. Man, excuse me. I apologize, everybody. Oh, Eric Brubaker. Shout out to Eric Brubaker's kids. Remember, if you prepare yourself, if you study, if you educate yourself, it's the best way to ensure that you can take control of your life and basically have things laid out for you in a meaningful way, because you are in control. When you don't do your chores, and sometimes education is a chore. When you don't do your chores, then you don't get the rewards. Just remember that, kids. Now, everybody, Bitcoin on the daily. Okay, we've got, this is all the way Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now, here is, over the weekend, here's Friday. We had a push up. We had a bit of, holding a little bit steady here. And then we had the news of the war breakout. And it's right at where this order block is. And the price is coming down. So one analyst could argue that the price is dropping because of the war. Another analyst could argue, well, price was priming to drop because it was coming into a known level. We have this large wick right here. Stop coughing. Large wick right here. Bears ate this up, created this order block right above us, showing weakness in the narrative for bulls. Price comes back up here. Price action, this wick is a lower wick. Bears eat this up. Then we get right here. This is Saturday. We get a spinning top followed by another spinning top and the price breakdown. So this is looking like it was getting weak coming into this before the news of the war broke out. And then the price action, starts to pull back here. So my point with this is it doesn't matter what your strategy is. If you're a news person or an analyst, a technical analyst looking at, candle patterns and technical data on a chart, the honest truth is it probably is a combination of both. The chart was already showing weakness coming into this zone as early as Thursday right here. When this pushed up, this was the start of the weakness. Monday last week, this large push up, and then the bulls just got weak. Bears ate it up and then brought the candle down. We had another attempt. This was a reaffirmation of the weakness of the bulls. As this pushes up, we have a lower high. So this was Thursday last week. We get another attempt here, and it's still a lower high. So this was Friday, and then we get the spinning top reversal. So you can see these things are already showing in the charts, regardless of what was happening with the war. Now, the war, some people could argue, is going to be a good thing or a bad thing for assets. Remember, nothing about war is good. In fact, it's absolutely terrible. But when you are looking in a chart, when you're standing here or sitting at your desk looking at a chart and you're trying to figure out what investment or trade to make, what to move into, what to move out of, you have to look at the chart objectively without any emotionality of anything else going on in the world. You want to look at a chart of an asset and you want to say, okay, this chart is telling me to do this. It's not good or bad. It's what is relevant to that specific asset on that time frame, on that chart. So when we're looking at what's going on here, we're just trying to make sure that we are protecting ourselves and the assets for our family. It's not in that context, it's not a bad thing to try to figure out where you need to make sure you're protecting your capital. Shout out to your kids, Eric Brubaker, the 11-year-old and the 9-year-old. I remember when I was that age. I wish I knew about crypto back then. And you're welcome if you're a BitLab member. Let them use your account and study up, learn about the stuff. Now, what do we want to talk about today? I'm going to go through some of the same stuff that I went through in the morning stream, just so we could talk about it a little bit. Make sure you're following me over here at Kellam, KELOY, Make sure you're following BitLab Academy here at Academy BitLab. And remember, we got 110 people in the room. Only 38 likes. Every single one of you right now, hit the like button. Look down below the video. Does it say subscribe or subscribed? If it says subscribe, hit the button. Join us here in our family. Always breaking down in a non-biased way what's going on in these charts, in this ecosystem, so that we can navigate to profits, not navigate our money to somebody else's profits. That's what we're about here at BitLab. Positive, empowering tools and strategies for crypto and blockchain. Make sure on this tweet, come here, hit this retweet, hit the like button. We're going to be doing 2 drawings at the end of the stream, and we're going to be giving a 3-month BitLab Pro membership away, as well as $100 USDT. And then for this specific post right here, we're going to also give away a 3-month BitLab Pro membership. So get involved with that. You bringing me coffee or tea? You heard me, what, you heard me coughing on stream? Oh, they just brought me tea. Oh, thank you so much. I feel so loved right now. She said nothing but the best for the ambassador of hugs. I'm the ambassador of hugs here at BitLab Academy. I try to always bring people's energy to a positive space. And if they're not feeling positive, good. It's okay. I'm not good. I'll sit with you. I will be compassionate for what you're going through. I can sit with you through your fire and not get burned. I'm all about friends, family, love, and all that. Yeah. Shout out to Allison and Allie. They both took care of me. They got me some tea. So yeah, make sure you hit that retweet, hit that like button. We're gonna be doing that giveaway here towards the end of the stream. Where it was the other. Okay, here we go. So Bitcoin. This is a chart, very simple. I love this chart style from Caleb Franzen. This is a couple critical points on this chart. We know this level. This is at $24,900, $25,000 level. Major resistance, rejected here, and then finally broke up into this territory, explored the top side of this range, got rejected again, only to fully launch here and then pull back and find support. This is the BlackRock news, massive push up to the upside, much substantially smaller growth here. You see this high and then this high, substantially higher. We can tell without knowing anything about data or analytics. You can look at this and see, okay, look at how much higher this high is from this one. Okay, now look how much higher this high is from this one. look at, this is basically nearly the same level. Yes, this is a higher high from here, but it's so substantially smaller. This was telegraphing to anybody that has eyeballs. And if you don't have eyeballs, maybe you're listening to the audio readout of what the highs are and you have it on Braille. Doesn't matter. The point being is, if you have any senses about you that can listen to data and just realize that this is substantially smaller momentum to the upside than previously, this is saying the bulls are weak here. Telegraphing a likely pullback's coming. What we get? We got the pullback. We're getting all these chops here, taking your money if you're not prepared, if you're not using healthy strategy. So then what do we have? Everybody wants this to go up, up, and away, but everybody was wondering about an October surprise. It's funny how, whether or not this was planned or not, it's kind of funny that we had all that warning system on our phones across the U.S. last week. Was it last week or the week before? And everybody was saying something was going to be happening about the first week of October. And here we go. This is what this is. This just came out. Now, looking at where we're at, people want the price to go up because people are bored with this sideways price action. This doesn't feel sideways, but let me tell you, this is sideways price action. If we look at this, coming over here on the 8-hour chart, zoom out like this, turn off the indicators, look at this sideways price action. We have top here, and if we can move this all the way over here like this, look at this. This is a sideways range. We have effectively just been moving sideways, if you can believe it or not. It doesn't matter if you believe it. The chart says it's true. We have been moving sideways essentially since March 2023. So March, April, May, June, July, September, August, my months are in order. And then we're into the 8th month of sideways action. Now, within the sideways action, this plays out, just so you all know, this plays out on every time frame and for different durations and for different ranges in price. You can have sideways action that moves in a $100 range on a 10-minute chart. You can have sideways action in this case that's moving in a, $6,502 range. The $6,500 range that this has been ranging in. So everybody wants this to go up, but let's look at this. What's 50% up from here? So this is 25%, 25%, so 12. This is roughly 50%. So we're basically coming up and touching below the 50% mark on this entire range. This is not showing strength. Now, I'm not saying that it could show strength. I'm not saying that it can't. It's just as it stands right now, we are flirting right now with potentially breaking into the upper half of this range. But as it stands right now, there's nothing bullish about this yet. Put some water in it. Too hot. Tea smells good. All right. So now we have geopolitical conflict issues, across the world. We see S&P 500 pushing up, but this is, Friday. So we got to see what the daily close is on the S&P 500 today. Gold pushing up, got the gap. Currently, we're down in this level. This is a level that we really want to look at right here. Anywhere north of this starts to get bullish. As this stands right now, this is just relief coming into this. Now, this is going to be important because it brings up the concept of the flight to safety that we need to be paying attention to, because if there's flight to safety, the question still remains, is Bitcoin in the category of enough different market participants' minds of things are looking scary, let's move into Bitcoin. Now, we will see some people doing that, but the question is, when we're trying to trade and invest in markets, is what is the majority going to do? What direction is the majority of capital going to flow? Because if 7 people out of 1,000 go into a flight of safety into Bitcoin, and then 93 people or 993 people out of that 1,000 are withdrawing funds from that asset, it's irrelevant what those 7 people did. So what I want to do is position myself in favor of what the majority are voting on in this market. And how do you vote in this market? You vote with dollars. You vote with putting and placing trades in the order books or doing market orders, but participating in buying and selling. Whatever the dominant factor is the direction the candle goes. In terms of, it's kind of aggregate of the number of people, but the more important thing is the amount of capital betting on a direction. So as it stands right now, we're looking at the 4-hour chart. We have this push up, a little bit of sell off. This is going to be very important right here on gold. If this cannot get above 1858, we're currently at 1852. Actually the high here is 1858.48. If we cannot break just the high we have here, maybe this is a little bit of a liquidity grab and then back down. So we're going to want to just keep an eye on that. Now, there's a couple other charts I wanted to show you. So on this chart, I brought it up first. Key level, this is a level everybody's watching, especially now that we have another geopolitical, conflict that potentially could draw in a lot more than just the two nations that are at war right now. In reality, there's multiple players that are already involved. They just don't tell you that. But there's other neighboring countries. There's a lot that could be going on here, and it could be a little bit catastrophic for markets. And so if things are already looking a little bit weak, and then we get a little bit, we get a flamethrower that comes in of just bearishness, then we really want to pay attention to this $24,900 level, because this has been a critical level of resistance and support. And this teal line right here is very important to us because currently, yes, we are in an uptrend, but it's starting to tighten. And this tightening is a rising wedge. Rising wedges are bearish as well. So if we do lose this level, it's not the end of the world, but it does give us an opportunity for people that are scalp trading to trade this position from here, basically the 27,000 down to the 25,000, which is about a $2,000 move. But then this becomes primary focus number one. If we lose this level, are we going to come down and retest this level down here at 19.9? Are we going to come to this level here, which is about $21,000? Are we going to test this level, which is about just shy of 21.8? We don't know yet because we don't know how many different world players are going to be getting involved with this. And I mean, like, by involved, I don't mean by funding another government. I mean like getting involved, because that could spell catastrophe for markets and a huge flight to safety. Then again, I beg the question, is Bitcoin going to be a flight to safety? I don't know if it's there yet. Do you think it's going to be a flight to safety? Let me know in the comments, live chat, and the comments down below. Do you think Bitcoin is ready to be a flight to safety? I don't mean technologically. Do you think the market participants as a whole are going to have more people moving into a flight to safety or not yet? Nothing like some lemon ginger. What's your favorite kind of tea? If you drink tea, what's your favorite kind of tea? Shout out to Allison and Allie for bringing me the tea. That was quite sweet. No, it'll get crushed with everything else. Yeah, I agree with you, Crimson. And Quarter Crawler said no. Red Elephant said not yet. I'm right there with you. But you know what that means? You know what that means? There's at least some silver lining in all this, that if the markets do get crushed, say we even test down to 19 or below 19, I don't really feel like we're going to go that low. I'm looking more the $22,000 to $24,000 range. That's just better opportunity to be prepared for a bull market that is coming. Whether it comes immediately after the halving or 7 months later or a year later, there's going to be a bull market that happens in Bitcoin in the nearest future. So I'm okay with prices going down so long that we can be prepared for it. All right. So now next chart we want to look at here. All right. Resistance turns to support. Boom, boom. This is that $18,000, $17,000 to $18,000 level. Pushed down into it, found support, pushed up, Same thing that happened back here, but we also consolidated out of it and then pushed up. In this case right here, we pushed up, came down, tested the $3,500 mark. Huge bull market pre-halving. Why huge? Because this is a multi-100% growth. This is like 360% growth or something. And then pretty substantial sell-off from just shy of basically $13,900 or so down to, I think it was about $3,800 or so, especially with the global economic shutdown. Ignore the black swan. Push up, a little bit of a sell-off. Majority of this is just consolidation. So where we're at right now is similar to this territory right here and this territory right here as it relates to where the next parabolic uptrend is going to start. And remember, parabolas do not start like this. They start like this, and slowly, the nature of a parabola is it slowly starts to get exponential like this. And most people jump in way over here near the top because now it must be going higher. Well, you just gave profits to somebody that bought down here and down here. A lot of people buying all the way up here at these zones, all the way up here. We've been in the territory for all of this year for great buys for people that have a time horizon that is into 2025. The problem is, and I'm not hating, the problem is if you're going to trade, you need to trade with a strategy, and it needs to be a portion of your portfolio. I'll say that again. The problem with most people in this market is not that trading is bad. It's that they're bad traders, that you're a bad trader. I'm a bad trader. Every one of us has been a bad trader because we get tied in with our emotions too much. And we have this grand plan of, now is a great buying opportunity because the market dropped. So we buy with this initial vision of selling somewhere a year and a half later. In this case right now, it's October 9th, 2023. So maybe you bought anytime this year with this idea, if I buy now, when the bull market top happens in 2025, middle into 2025, I'm going to have so many profits. If that's your time horizon, then why are you scalp trading those assets? Now, I'm not saying don't scalp trade anything. If you're going to buy Bitcoin or Ethereum or Singularity or Ethereum or Quant or AVAX or Cardano, it doesn't matter what asset. Understand your time horizon, allocate a small portion of that asset, somewhere between 5 and 15%, depending on your risk tolerance and your understanding of markets, and trade that small amount and leave the rest in a longer term, at least minimum position trade to identify that based on market characteristics, you're going to take profits once we're well past previous all-time highs. And there's certain other technical analytical data sets that you use based on your strategy. Maybe you learn many of them here in BitLab Academy or in the BitLab Academy courses. But the point is, have a time horizon, stick to it. If you're going to trade, use a small allocation of your portfolio to trade with. Don't trade with your whole portfolio. That's what I got to say about that. Now, let's go ahead and look at this next chart. Yeah, same thing. Boom, recovery. Pre-halving pump, bear market, recovery, pre-halving. Look at the pre-halving here, down. Look at the pre-halving here, down a little bit of, and then up. So are we going to get that down? Are we going to get that down? That's what we want to know. Okay, bullish. If we're looking bullishly, this is Wyckoff accumulation where we're as compared to this chart currently. It doesn't mean it has to stay this way. Chart patterns change and adjust all the time. You're always going to be adjusting your strategy based on new information in the market. As it stands right now, this is very similar to this Wyckoff accumulation, which is a market cycle strategy to understand when you're in periods of accumulation and distribution. And we can see right here, we basically have this, the chop back and forth. It looks a little different from this. So I feel like this is a little bit of a stretch. And we have the sell-off down here, the swing, basically the accumulation long position phase right here, the push up, pull back. And then, so there's similarities here, but there's enough differences that I do question this. If this is the case, that this is what is playing out, then we will hold above minimum low 24.5. If we start breaking below 24.5, then this is invalidated because we're breaking past these previous highs, which is these highs right here, high. And this goes back to what we were talking about with this chart. So the invalidation of if we are in a Wyckoff accumulation is if this comes down and we get a pretty strong deviation to the downside here below this box. Now, gap open, gold, say, okay. Now I wanted to talk a little bit about, why did all this log out? Here we go. This is that gap we're talking about right here. Boom, boom. We're about 200 days from the halving, give or take probably 10 days, depending on how fast all the blocks get confirmed between now and then. Because they're supposed to be roughly 10 minutes on average, depending on congestion on a network and new integrations into Bitcoin. Remember, we had ordinals pop on and that changed the dynamic of blocks for a couple of weeks. Fees went through the roof. Some things were getting slowed down. So other areas were getting sped up because you're putting different workloads on the blockchain. So that's why we say it's going to be sometime in and around April. Could be as early as late March. Could be as late as sometime in May. But, you know, I'm targeting around the middle of April, which means we got about 200 days before the halving. This is that period right here. This is a period we're paying attention to. A lot of accumulation. Here's a deviation here with a black swan. But if this did not happen, this likely would have pushed up, sold off into this. But either way, price action is about the same on both sides of this. So we just want to pay attention to this. Now, the other critical juncture that we're looking at, everybody, we got to pay attention to this, is right here. Price action is broken below the 21-week SMA, which is this line right here. See, let's turn them all off. So we got the long-term holder cost basis, which is down here in the realized price. So they're roughly almost about the same in the same regionally in the same area. But then we have that just traditional metric, the 200-day moving average. Look at that, pushing up into it. Not only did we lose it, we came up here, that grayscale pump, came up, rejected off of it. Came back up, we tried, rejected, came right into the 200-day SMA, rejected off of it. Okay, well, let's look at the 21-week. Look at this, pushing right into this same territory and having trouble. And then we see the short-term holder cost basis, the true, one of my favorite sort of indicators of the strength of the market. If we cannot get back to the average price of all the short-term held coins being below the price, then we're not bullish. Because what this means is, this means that there's fear in the market. This means there's not the new money that we want to come in to spark an uptrend. You know, basically long-term holders have held, they're not selling anymore. And now when short-term holders stop selling once they get back to a break-even price, which is essentially what the short-term holder cost base is, it's the average price of all coins that are short-term held. And it's also such a short period of time that that's going to be a large number of those short-term holders, the retail that's just buying and trading and flopping and groping, as CryptoFace calls it. This is a break-even point. So if they're like, oh, they bought here and it dropped and it pushes up, oh, finally they're break-even, they get out. That means they don't have hope for price going up. And we got three critical traditional and on-chain metrics kind of paired together here at a juncture for which price is sitting at and cannot break through. So this is important. There was something else. Oh, Joe Rogan, of course, had positive comments about Bitcoin. Just because there's positive comments out there does not mean it's time just to pack your bags and it's about to go to the moon. We got to trade smart. We got to trade patient. Now, this is important here. This is energy stocks, XRLE, rebounding perfectly at the 200-day moving average cloud. So this is energy stocks. Remember, oil is going to become a premium here probably for the next coming months if this war and this conflict persists, because transport becomes more difficult. The demand for oil for the war machine goes up. It's going to drive prices higher and potentially even have an effect on what Jerome Powell does. So on that note, looking over here, interestingly, this has gone up. This has gone up since the conflict came out. And this is the percentage of people thinking there's going to be another pause. And I have a little bit of an issue with this, unless it has to do more with like, international stage politics and, what we look like, trying to make the economy strong. I think there's a high likelihood sometime in the next, 4 to 6 months that we actually get quantitative easing again if this conflict persists, because how are we going to fund it? How the hell is the U.S. going to fund another war? We're stretched absolutely as thin as it is. And so when we see oil going up, what's that going to do to when you're looking at CPI and, inflation data and the cost of goods? Everything that we do in the Western world is tied to the price of oil. Whether you're buying a shirt, whether you're using a camera, whether you're a taxi cab driver, whether you're somebody, a mechanic, everything we do, because you have to ship goods, large in part oil, okay? Then you have the production, petroleum products, oil, right? Almost everything you buy has some form of plastic in it, oil. Cost of gas for your car, oil. Energy, oil. And so when we're looking at that chart we just looked at from Caleb Franzen, this is energy prices rebounding at a key level. We saw oil prices going up, and we see that they're still going to pause. Well, let's go ahead and look at this article right here. This is 5 things to pay attention to this week. And there's some important ones that tie into this inflation narrative that we're just talking about. Well, Bitcoin spot ETF approval, SEC's grayscale appeal deadline looms Friday. I would, for me, this is a pretty hard. Let me know in the chat. Comment down below as well if you're watching later. And if, by the way, if you're watching somewhere else, make sure you head over to youtube.com/@BitLab Academy. Join us here. And if you haven't yet, check out bitlabacademy.com. Join us here in our community. We got a wonderful, wonderful community of not only just the courses that you have all access to, but also our Discord, which is phenomenal with just all kind of different breakdowns of different charts regularly, gym calls, spot trading stuff. We've got it all. So join us in our community. But when we're talking about, the SEC ETF approval, I think that's a pretty low likelihood. I think it's been pretty well telegraphed. It's going to be earliest the very end of the year. I'm more likely going to be sometime in February or March. Now, if this does happen, somehow Grayscale just gets approved, whether they get approved first or they all get approved, that would be an absolute jolt of bullishness to the market. So we got to pay attention to this. But also, I do want to say, note that in the past with Bitcoin, when big news has come out that everybody thought was going to drive price higher, that has marked a local top and it's gone down. That happened with the futures ETF when it got announced. It went live a couple years ago. It's happened. It's happened a number of different times in Bitcoin. So we just when Coinbase IPO'd. Now that's not a Bitcoin thing, but it's one of the largest respected crypto exchanges in the world. When they IPO'd and their coin went live. My camera's still on? Hold on 1 second. Where'd my camera go? I moved my computer and jacked it up. Give me 1 second, guys. There we go. Got it back. I moved my computer and wiggled the thing. Okay, long story short, we just need to pay attention to this. There might be some speculative articles around this driving up to it. This is going to be a non-event until something happens, and then we still need to protect ourselves. Okay, Binance versus SEC clash continues. Thursday, the standoff between Binance and SEC took an interesting turn mid-September when federal magistrate judge Zia Faruqi rejected the SEC's bid to inspect Binance.US tech systems. Okay, so with the previous expedite discovery, stymied by blah, 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 October 12th sees the next crucial hearing. So there's going to be some news around this. So pay attention to that. This is a bigger one. This is what I was talking about with inflation. Everybody's wondering about a pause. Remember, in the last time we had a little bit of a jump in percentage points above expectation, and it had to do with energy. Energy was making up like 30% of the change. So now if we're seeing oil going higher, then this means if oil goes higher for the next 2 or 3 weeks, then over the course of the next 2 months, we're going to start seeing rises at the pump. So we got to pay attention to this. FOMC meeting minutes. This is the notes of what everybody was talking about in the discussion at the last FOMC meeting. Now this is like something I don't think people really paid attention to in previous cycles, but we also were dealing with quantitative easing, not quantitative tightening. So we just want to pay attention to this. Now we see more macro. The reason why this is important is because it brings up, rather than just what he said at the press conference, it gives a broader tone of the different Fed members that were at the meeting and what they're debating and certain signals that they may or may not be looking for, the tone of the likelihood of another pause or another rate increase, and how, when, where, what, and all basically giving insight. Now, this is going to be probably more important than it would have been had the geopolitical, kerfuffle sort of spark up this weekend. We got more macro data also. Following the Hamas attack on Israel, the oil price jumped to $89 a barrel. As such, the oil price could be one of the big spoilers for falling inflation. This is exactly what I was talking about. So we just need to pay attention to that. There's a lot going on this week, and there's one other thing here. Forbes' bold prediction, $8 trillion to enter XRP and Bitcoin markets amidst US dollar woes. What the hell are they talking about? Forbes, US dollar collapse, shock. 8 trillion predicted Fed inflation flip to spark a critical Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and crypto boom to rival gold. Bitcoin and gold act as vital protections against the looming risk of inflation. Similarly, there's been criticism of the Fed's decision to raise interest rates to combat inflation, as it remains considerably high even after the rate hikes have been implemented. If the US dollar lost $8 trillion, cryptocurrency could take in that huge amount. Right now, the total value of all cryptos is about a little over $1 trillion. So if $8 trillion left the US and went into crypto, it could turn the crypto market into a nearly $10 trillion giant. Now, while I like articles like this because it makes me excited about what's going to happen with Bitcoin and the crypto ecosystem, we have to remember this is going to be a long trajectory thing for global adoption and the transfer of treasuries and the transfer of wealth with allocations starting small and then scaling up into Bitcoin. And I don't want to say siphoning off, but capturing, that's a better way to put it, capturing some of this capital flowing out of other things, out of the questionable markets and assets that they may be in. Maybe that might be the US dollar. Is the US dollar questionable? You tell me. Are you certain about the US dollar? Because I know I'm not. I know the banks are not. Banks are so weak, the US government is trying to potentially give them a tax break and not have to pay tax. Why? Because they're trying to incentivize people to stay in the dollar, trying to incentivize banks. I have my own thoughts on all this. Point being is, this is going to be a long game. This is a long game that we need to play right now. Trade. Do it. Get into BitLab Academy. Learn about trading before you trade, whether you use myself or the BitLab Academy or Traders Reality or Frankie Candles or Jason Casper or CryptoFace. Doesn't matter. Pull your resources from as many places as you can so you can educate yourself. So if you are going to trade, you're doing it smart, with healthy risk management, and with strategy. This is not a competition. BitLab is not competing with any other content creator out there or any other community. What we want you to do, and all the other creators that I talk to, this is not a competition. We just want to provide resources so that you don't start making strong headway in your portfolio to then scale up risk without actually changing your risk management strategy or understanding how to trade a breakout trade or how to mitigate your losses through different tools like stop losses, trailing stop losses, portfolio allocation into trading and into long-term holding, taking profits from your trades and putting it into long-term hold, and also taking a portion out for everyday life to take care of your friends, your family, your kids, school clothes, trips, vacations. If you're not taking profits, then what the hell are you doing this for? Your profits should go into your long-term portfolio. Your profits should also go into your cash account to manage life. And then you keep a little bit extra in your trading portfolio. So everything in your life is rising at the same time. But that's what I'm all about. That's what we're about here at BitLab. And that's what I love about each and every one of you here in the community. And I hope that we can be a positive space for you to come and be with each other here in the live chats, but also in the Discord. Get in the Discord. The link is down below. Come over here, get involved in the Discord. Share your charts, ask questions, get involved with, the different stuff that we have in here. And we love you. We appreciate you. I got to go. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And remember, tomorrow, 10:15 a.m. Eastern Time, the Chart Watch Daily Jumpstart. Get on it. I love you. Oh, we got to do the giveaway. I almost totally forgot. I almost forgot. So let me go ahead and pull up. You see, I told you, I just get so wrapped up in my, what is it? Picker wheel. Picker wheel. Okay, now we're going to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Everybody has an opportunity right now, if you haven't yet, to get entered into the, to win. Head over to BitLab Academy's Twitter page. And if you haven't yet, retweet something from last week, which are any of these, it could be Saturday as well. Any of these posts that we have from last week with these promo posts with a link tied into it, retweet those. That gives you one entry. And then the other entry, which it's only going to be drawing out of those of you that are here right now. So all you got to do is the tweet that I did earlier today, which is this tweet right here. I'm going to post it in the comments. This tweet, it's also pinned in the top of the comments. If you retweet this gives you also an opportunity to win 3-month retweet to win. So you can retweet both. Okay. And if somebody wins both, I'm going to ask you right now, just as a wonderful person, that you are going to give away one of them to another member, because you don't need 3-month memberships. So everybody get those retweets going. Hit the like button. You got to hit the like button also to qualify, just so you know. So now picker wheel, and then we got to do comment, picker. I cleared all my cache. So I just got to make sure, is this the right one? Yeah, this is the right one. All right. Now we need to come over here, come right down. Let's do it. I love giving away stuff for all you wonderful, wonderful monkeys. All right. We're logged in. What day is it going to be? Monday. We got Saturday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. This is for the first one, the BitLab 3-month plus $100 USDT. And we're going to Wednesday. So what day was Wednesday? What day was Wednesday? I'm opening up my calendar. What's today? The 9th. The Wednesday was the 4th. All right. Wednesday was the 4th. So let's see who wins on the 4th. October 4th, 7th, 5th, 4th. All right. Only 12 people. You see, those of you that support, you get the love. All right, let's Twitter. We're doing it. Man, I hope my cough is gone by. I hope my cough is gone by the end of this week. I'm so tired of coughing. All right. All right. Boom. Who's winning it? Crimson, my guy. Got the $100 USDT. You're here all the time. I'm so happy you won this. You got the $100 USDT and the 3-month BitLab Pro. I'll comment. I'll chat with you on Discord. We'll sort that out. Now, this one's going to be just for everybody. Shout out for Crimson Caravan. Now, this next one is going to be just for this post right here. Let's see. Now, people don't want to win. We had 100 people in here. Only 15 people retweeted. Hey, more power to those that that participated here. You get to have a higher chance of winning. So let's go ahead and retweet or refresh this page. All right. Get data. All right. This is the 3-month BitLab Pro. Cade Pulliam, you're in the room right now. I'm going to get you taken care of on that. Cade, will you reach out to us on Discord? Get into the Discord. That's how you claim this. Get over on the Discord, message me, and I'm also going to confirm with you through Twitter, just so we can verify people are who they say they are. So shout out to everybody. Love you all. I appreciate each and every one of you. Let's keep this community vibe and let's keep it positive. Let's do what we do. I love being here with you guys on a daily basis. We got a lot more great stuff coming, and I will be seeing you tomorrow at 10:15 a.m. Eastern Time. With that, I farewell. Adios. Adios, muchachos. Adios, muchachos. Thank you for coming. Thank you for always tuning in. Ain't got to take life so seriously. You know, sometimes you just got to have fun. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Ding that bell. We'll see you tomorrow at 10:15 a.m. Eastern Time for the Chart Watch Daily Jumpstart, and then 11:30 a.m. for the daily stream. Adios, everybody.